Poor supply remains a major problem for many Nigerian homes and businesses. The national grid has collapsed twice in the last 3 months, leaving cities in darkness. The government's pledge to improve supply has not materialized over years, and the government said the recent failure was caused by gas problems triggered by sabotage of supply lines. And public affairs analyst Chukwuma Kenwa joins us from our Abuja studio for more on this. Good to have you join us.
Yeah, thank you.
So several excuses going round. The federal government is talking about supply lines. The discos are talking about, I just want to take what the discos posted online, the different discos. They talked about load shedding by the transmission as a result of power generation. They also talked about low allocation from the GENCOs because of low generation, and the GENCOs are saying the federal government owes them 1.6 million. There's just, everybody has a side of this narrative. What do you make of this, and what does that tell you in terms of where we are in the power sector?
Honestly, what that suggests is we have a basic problem, and that is poor investment, transmission, and as well as distribution in the nation. Yes, we are aware that the government in the past made some attempt in privatizing the sector, but of course, the mannerism with which that was done has not been able to give that edge to leverage on the potentials of privatization. At the moment, generating 4,000 megawatts for a population of over 200 million is not just good enough compared to maybe like some African countries like South Africa with a population of about 59 million, but generate 58,000 megawatts. I mean, that's commendable. We have not really prioritized the issue of power generation. And the issue, like in terms of the personal box, whether we're talking about the GENCOs or the DISCOs, I think it's been proven with some recent investment from the government that the GENCOs can actually contribute extra 8,000 megawatts. But of course, the transmission system that we have in place, and that's of course the national grid, it's not viable enough. You have like issues of worn-out infrastructures to contain, to have the capacity to actually transmit as much as like barely about a maximum of 5,000 megawatts. So a lot of investment is needed to actually tackle this particular issue.
And that's the thing, because in the midst of this, there has been a tariff increase. I was reading a statement by someone who said his tariff was increased by 4 naira. And I don't understand how the tariff increase was approved with very poor power supply. There is also the fuel scarcity, where a lot of people have to now buy fuel on their generators because there is no power. It's been 9 years since privatization. I'm not sure this is the time to say let's go back to the drawing board. I think we've left that drawing board a long time ago. But what sort of reforms do you expect? We've seen that the National Assembly has moved towards decentralizing the power sector and ensuring that the states also are able to generate. But what sort of reforms do you think we should be making now if we are going to make a headway in that sector?
Yes, we commend the National Assembly, and of course we expect the state assemblies to toe the same path and facilitate the process. But beyond that, we want to see the political will on the part of the government, the federal government, to tackle this issue. There's a lot of corruption in the power sector, and the government is not saying anything. We've seen, like, established cases, evidences to show like corruption, deep corruption in the power sector, and that is being tackled. We've had a past administration in this nation that claimed to have invested how many billions of dollars, and yet we don't have light. And this corruption has persisted. And until we tackle the issue of divesting of funds that is meant for power, I regret to announce that it will really be difficult to get it right, whether you are talking about the generation, transmission, and of course the distribution of power.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Chukwuma Kenwa, always great to have you on the show.